Welcome to the Thursday Night 9, your weekly hangout with the Amateur Players Tour. Join hosts Matt Mender and Matt Fegley as they dive into recaps, rules, and what's coming up next across the tour. It's by the players, for the players, and it all starts right now, live on the Thursday Night 9.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Thursday Night 9. I am here with special co-host tonight, Mr. Dennis McGraw from Utah. How are you doing, my friends?
Happy to be here. I've had almost a full day of recovery after a long couple tournament weekends.
I understand that. I wish I could say the same thing. We had travel issues getting back, and so we got back at about 3 o'clock. We had staff meeting at 3:30, and so it was quite interesting. I'm trying not to hate on any travel providers, but I will say that Marriott came through. I was at O'Hare Airport last night at 12:30, walking around with Collins, banging on the doors of different hotel shuttles, asking if anybody had a room. And finally, the Marriott took me in. They took really good care of us. So we got
in Chicago.
Yeah, we're in Chicago. So, let's just put it this way. Everybody makes fun of me for having a bunch of courses in my top 10, but
are you saying there's more than 10 courses in your top 10?
Maybe, but I'll tell you, O'Hare Airport is nowhere near my top 10 favorite airports. So it's definitely a cellar dweller, and it is very safe to be there. So no offense to our friends in Chicago, but I'm pretty sure people who live in Chicago don't really love O'Hare either.
Well, I had an easy 3-hour drive home and got slept to sleep in my own bed, and it sure was nice while you were trying to find another hotel.
Yeah, I say we had no problem getting to your house. Like we passed your house at about 10 in the morning on the way up. We met with the founder of Mission Belt. They're located in Orem, Utah, which is about 20 minutes north of you and probably 40 minutes south of Salt Lake for those. And got to spend some time with them with a new big partnership with Mission Belt. We're really excited. It was really cool to hear their story, hear what their heart is in everything, and see what they're doing in the space. I mean, they're doing some really cool things. They've got some really cool stuff that's going to come out this fall. I know you'll see them again at our North American Championship. I love first comment. Terry says, hello from Chicago. So I'm sorry I'm hating on your airport, Terry.
So what city does Jack live in? By the way, Jack, what a cool guy.
Myrtle Beach.
I got to spend some time with him, and he's a stuff.
Yeah, Jack's great, and they're doing great things, and so we're excited about it. And one of the things I thought was cool about Mission Belt, just share a little bit about their vision. Obviously, they're a Shark Tank brand, so they went on Shark Tank. That's one of their claims to fame. Got a deal with Damon John, and but their biggest thing is they want to help people around the world be able to live sustainably. And so their whole thing is, so many charities just give money to throw money at these causes all the time. And, what they do instead is they provide microloans to help people start businesses around the world. They do it in America, but also around the world. And they're like, man, if you go to South Africa, $45 in a loan can, buy farm equipment to start a business, or, you know what I mean? There's a lot of really cool stuff they can do. And so their whole idea is, instead of just giving a bunch of stuff away and taking money out of the local economy, he goes, let's help build the local economy. It was a really cool, just a really cool story. And, $1 of every belt that they sell goes towards that. And they've done just, I forget the entire number, but it's a massive number of loans they've been able to do to help people start business across the world.
Let me ask you this about, so Jack Curry, he's the founder, correct?
So no, Jack he's the head of sales.
Sales, okay.
Across the country.
It was founded in Utah.
Connor lived in Utah.
I always thought it was like a play on missionaries because, us Mormons sent a lot of missionaries out. I figured it was a return missionary that started a business. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was always right. It makes sense.
You were dead on. I didn't know that going in. I probably would have denied it before meeting those guys. But their passion for helping people is at the very forefront of everything they do. We had a great conversation, built a great relationship. We're excited to partner with them. And like you said from the start, when we look to add partners, we're looking for partners that really just add value, not only to the APT membership, but just society as a whole. We want to work with people that we trust and are just good people, and we can grow together. And Mission Belt is certainly one of those. They were just really cool. It was fun. It was fun hanging out in their office. Their office looks a lot like our national office starting to work. It's a family environment. Their warehouse is a little bigger than ours, so I'm sure Jersey's a little jealous of that because they've got shelves floor to ceiling on a 50-foot ceiling. So it was pretty cool to see. But a really cool organization. A lot of family stuff going on, and we're excited to be partnered with them.
It's awesome. Another connection to Utah. Good stuff in Utah, Matt.
Absolutely, man. Well, let's just get right to it.
Golf courses.
So we're just announcing tonight that we're going to open registration for the APT Red Rock Championship in 27. Right? I'm just kidding. Everybody's freaking out.
Everybody, get to the computer.
I know, right? No, I'm kidding, guys. We don't have that built yet. It's not really a thing. But from our conversations early, being nervous about it, needing to go to Monday, Tuesday to make it work with the resort. Sold out in 49 minutes, and I will tell you, there wasn't a single soul there that regretted going to that event.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many people I came across that were just in awe. Like, wow, we've never been to Utah, and this is beautiful. And they look at some of the mountains around, and they're not real mountains to Utahns. They're big hills. You get a little bit more northern, and then you see mountains. But those down there, sure, they're 700,000 feet tall. But something you don't see on the East Coast, where a lot of the people came from, and they're just red, just beautiful sandstone.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this all year, and I'll say it again. There are four golf courses that I've played that I think truly get to like the spiritual level for views, and Red Rock's certainly one of them. The Ocean Course at Kiowa is another. The Keep up on top of the mountains at Macklemore is a really special spot, and then. My heart's always in Maui. At some point, we're going to do an AP trip to Maui. I promise. It's my favorite place on earth. I want to share it with everybody. But it's one of those things. I get a lot of crap a lot of times because my top 10 changes in golf courses. But I will say this: being able to play Red Rock for 2 days, and so now I've played it 3 times. Rode around it a couple more. The more you play a golf course, sometimes the more you appreciate the nuances of it. And it is just a fantastic championship level golf course. Like, to be able to appreciate the nuance of every hole. I mean, it is, I choked a little bit. Obviously, I made triple on 10 and 11. I turned with the lead. Dennis
You were rolling for a minute.
I was rolling for a little while. And, but the thing about that place is it is a grind from your first tee shot until the last putt drops. Like, there is no time to take a shot off. There's no time you're going to miss some unique beauty about the golf course, whether it be the layout, whether it be the surroundings. Golf course played firm and fast. The greens were in great shape. The pins were in some really good spots. And you got to golf your ball around that place. I mean, hats off, Andrew Eckert, even par, day 2. I mean, that's playing some golf.
Yeah, Andrew was down 5 shots coming into day 2, made up 5 shots for the win. The thing about that course that just is crazy is you got this beautiful green grass, and there's no waste area or trees or bushes. It's grass right there, and then it's lava rock. And so it's so intimidating. You can't miss a shot at all. Big fairways, lots of rough. You got a lot to play with, but there's no going to look for a ball and get a lucky punch out. Going that lava rock, 2 out of 10 times it bounces back in. The other 8, it stays out there, and you're lateral every time. And yet the PGA goes out there and shoots 22 under.
That's a humbling thing to think about. I mean, that place is really good. And the other thing that's tricky about setting up tees, and I think you did a really good job of that this year, and looking, is it doesn't always benefit you to be short on some of these holes because there's a landing zone and then it narrows. And so, you can move the tees up all you want, but you really can't hit it into some of those landing zones. Like hole 4, like you can move the tees up, but if you get within 160 yards of the green, you're hitting it into a 10-yard window with lava rock on both sides. Seven's another one of those holes that you can hit the speed slot, but if you miss the speed slot, you're dropping 3.
Yeah.
So,
I played Wednesday after the tournament was over. I did that last year. I had to do that, or I was going to slip my wrists, because watching that beautiful course and everyone playing, I was just ticked off. I got to play this thing. So I proceeded to go out and shoot a cool 92.
there you go.
I kicked my butt.
As tired as I'm sure you were. But
you know what I noticed about it? Maybe this is something that happens with really high-end courses, because I noticed at the Ocean course as well and Chambers Bay, but the breaks on the greens are very subtle.
Right.
So many times I was looking, I'm like, I don't see a break. It has to move, and it does. It move a cup, and I was like, I can't see that.
Right.
Just give me a taste of how the PGA guys are so good. When it's that subtle, they can figure that out, because it's tricky.
Yeah, I haven't figured out, like, normally a lot of those places, there's a trick, like it breaks away from the mountains, but you're kind of in the valley, so you've got mountains on both sides.
Yeah,
it is in St. George, and it's gonna be pretty good. It's such a good spot to play. I mean, it's just a fun spot. Of all the trips we take yearly, for those of you out east, like, I don't know if I want to go to St. George. I know there's a comment in the chat that the resort's quirky. They're figuring it out. They're building. They're building a couple more golf courses out there. They're building a water park. They're really just building a world-class resort. And
the resort's beautiful, nice, plush place.
Yeah, I mean, this is the third year we've been to Black Desert. It's the first year we've done it back-to-back. But, 3 years ago, it was literally a trailer, a double wide, for a pro shop, and a taco truck when you got done, so you could go get some tacos. To last year, they had the resort open.
Mm-hmm.
They were figuring it out. And I mean, they're still figuring it out, but it was much improved this year, I thought. I was impressed with their development. Next year will be even better. And so look forward to, I'll go ahead and tease it, look forward to a return in 2027.
I like it.
So if I were you, I'd set my calendars now for Black Friday. I don't think we're going to go off of that for registration. We're just going to call it Black Desert Friday.
I like that.
So wake up from your turkey hangover, and
it's a Black Friday for the men. I'm not to discount the ladies. We want you to come play, but you guys like to shop sometimes. This is a Black Friday sale for the men.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was cool. And we'd be remiss if we don't run through the winners and tell a few stories about this. Or Terry's asking what the comment. We're starting with we'd be starting with I was blanked for a second. But we'll start with D1. Let's go through it. There's some great storylines that came out of this event. And so Division 1, I got to take a hats off to Andrew Eckert. He kicked my butt on the back nine. Andrew's a 2-time defending Worldwide Golf National Player of the Year. Everybody struggled a little bit on day 1, right? And he came back and just played steady all day. Even par around Black Desert's pretty stinking good.
Yeah, I should say so.
I mean, because you miss a shot, you can make a double, a triple, and other in a hurry. And that's not just a tee shot missed. It could be a hitting into a bad spot around a green. It can be on the wrong side of a hole with a putt. I mean, just around.
I sent Drew off the first tee on day 2, and he was not in the leaders pack. He was ahead of them at tee time. And I've seen this look in him before. Last time was at one of our local events where he proceeded to put up a 66. But he's got this steely glass look. He's not really interested in joking around and saying, "How you doing?"
Right.
He just nods his head, and that's what I saw in him that day. A little half of a fury and half of a focus, upset about the day before his score, and get out of my way. I'm going to kill somebody, or I'm going to win this tournament.
He certainly earned it. It was fun to watch. And, Division 2 has been fun to watch too. This is Paul Hess. This is a guy in his mid-60s. Playing the open tees.
Oh my gosh. Puts up an even par day 1. I mean, I'm
par day 1. Really solid round. And day 2 held off a lot of challenges. So he played really, really well to get it done when it mattered as well. And it was really fun to watch him. Paul's a great guy. Found a good spot playing the open tees in Division 2. And for some of you guys that are older that, don't think you can play the open tees and be successful. Paul is the blueprint, as Fegley would say. So
to not take anything away from Paul, he killed that thing. And Amanda Henneman was on his heels all day. And I got to tell you about Amanda. I was up there at the end of round one. We had some weather come in, and
right.
It was a little rainy, getting a little cool, and we were kind of running around getting things put away, get the flags put away before they got too wet. And Amanda's over on this beautiful state-of-the-art practice facility in that little bit of rain and cold for probably 2 hours, chipping on the range, over putting. She came in to this so focused to win this thing. It breaks my heart, but she grinded hard, and Hess just, man, he was just steady all day. Opened up one stroke, took it back. Opened up two strokes, took one back. She just could not make any leverage on him, so he was solid.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And in third place was Mark Iriarte, and that's a name that I would be paying attention to if I were in Division II. Yeah. He's a relatively new member to us, not new to amateur golf. Comes from one of those other tours we won't mention. But 76 in round 2 to Chase is pretty solid. I know he got it done last month at the Pacific Coast Classic at Bayonet up in Monterey, and so he's playing really well, so mention him. Division 3 was fun because I've got to say Pat Ryan has been one of the hottest players in Division 3 all year. And, he once again, solid 82. I know your boy Jesse Stone jumped out to an early lead with a 77, so everybody was chasing. But another Utah and Kason Giles stepped up to 18th hole, his 18th hole, which was the 9th hole, with the chance of that par 5 to earn his first major victory. And I'll be honest, that is a tough par 5. It's way more difficult than the 18th. And he stepped up, made a birdie when it mattered to earn his first major victory. So why don't you talk about him a little bit?
Yeah, Kason's come along the ways. When he joined the tour with us 2-3 years ago, he started out in Division 5, believe it or not. And he's just grind and made his game better and better, and was newly promoted last season to Division 3. And Pat and I've got no tears shed to see Pat go down to my boy. Because I'm in Division 3 and I hate losing to Pat.
Man. He is the king of putting up 10s and 11s. You know what I mean? Like that's his deal. So
Jason shooting a 77 on day 2 to pretty much steal the win from Pat and Jesse was phenomenal. This is the most humble kid you've ever met. Quiet, soft-spoken, and tall. Just a big 6'2", humble kid that loves golf. So hats off to him.
No, absolutely. So, and he's on the brink of getting that promotion to D2. I love that. I mean, there's been some talk a couple years ago. I know Felix Mange started from D5 all the way to D2. Greg Miller in St. Louis has been D5 all the way to D2, won in every division. And his goal is to be the first one to win in all 5 divisions. It's still open. So you have to give Kason, he's got 3 of the steps completed now. He's on the brink again to the 4th step. And so it's going to be interesting to see what he does there. Division 4 had some great storylines too. I thought it was really good. Went to a playoff. Wasn't enough, to go 36 holes. We had to go to 38, which was fun. And but Brian Sanders getting a major win in a playoff over Baxton Owen. I got to be honest, as St. Louis director, I'm a little heartbroken for Baxton. He has been grinding. Had a tough season last year. He's worked really hard in his game. Played a great round of 83 to get into position. Brian birdied the last hole to get into a playoff and then beat him on the second playoff hole. So hats off to Brian Sanders, who had a great weekend.
Just ice water in the veins. To be able to get that birdie to push this to a playoff, that was impressive. And he was pretty tired when he came in. And not only did he do this, but he also was able to win the senior net.
Yeah, and
these awards, the main awards, probably about 4 pounds, maybe 3-4 pounds. And the senior net's only maybe a half a pound less. I put those in both his hands, and he about fell on the ground. He was tired. I was like, "Do you want me to hold one of those for you?" No, I got it.
So in his defense, the Rocks are the heaviest trophy on tour. For sure, the Rocks are the heaviest trophy on tour, no doubt in my mind. But the other one I want to mention here is Cody Quattlebaum, who started in D5 last year, won the North American Championship. How cool is it to get promoted by winning the North American Championship? Has been grinding in D4, 79 on day 2 from him. First time he's ever broke 80 in his life to do it at Black Desert.
The Black Desert, that's impressive.
So you gotta talk that. He finished one shot off the pace.
Yeah.
So all the way up to T3, which was his best finish in a major. So that was super fun. Just going up and down, some great things. And then Division 5, like, it's kind of interesting. I'll intro it this way. Another playoff, Gary Lefevers, who's, well known in Division 5. He's won a former National Player of the Year with us, and your guy James Goodfellow going for his first major. And I'll intro it this way, that I'll let you, I'm not going to steal your thunder, but Chris and I run 50 to 60 tournaments together a year, which means we give about 400 and some people a trophy. It's very rarely noteworthy in our conversations that it's different than, hey, we're just doing this, we're celebrating the winner. But Chris went and sought me out. He goes, dude, you will not believe what I just saw in D5, and the emotion from James and the sense of pride for getting his first major. It was a very moving moment. And so I'm not going to steal it from you. I'll let you tee it up, but it was really cool to see.
Yeah, James has been on a roll. He's made some life changes to try to get himself centered in life a little better. And then along with that, he wants to get better at his game. So he's been working intensely, taking some lessons. He also was our Sunday champion on our pre-tournament. So we kind of went back to back there. And boy, you could just see when I handed him that award, all that buildup and all that hard work from him just started kind of oozing out of him. And he got teary-eyed, and he had a hard time holding it together. His wife came over and grabbed him, and you could tell just how important this was and how big of a deal this buildup of the work he'd done for the last year to kind of finish with that. It was a pretty cool, awesome morning moment. And to grind out, Gary's an amazing guy, Lefevre, love that guy. And those two just grinding it out on an extra hole. James was about 150 yards out in a bunker and was able to get it on the green from there. And he's a Division 5. He don't always have the technique on his side. It was a very awkward lie, and he got it up on that green and was able to two-putt that and secure that win. He was relieved and emotionally drained at the end, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, that place is a grind. Like, there's a lot of places we play that it's not a grind like that. Like, you get some shots off at most golf courses. It is not that way around Black Desert at all. There is something to catch your interest every time you make a stroke around that place. There is something that you need to be cognizant of to avoid a big number. Yeah. So super fun.
Well, I'd like to make a mention of Susan Barrow, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we started this when Alan and I started running this chapter. We made a decision to just recognize some of the ladies that come out that may not take down the W. There's no reason why they cannot. Amanda Henneman almost pulled it out, and Abigail was right there in Division 5.
Right.
But we just decided we want to reward the low net lady just as a gift. It doesn't come with anything but a gift of a really bitchin' trophy and tell them thank you to come play the tournament. So Susan Barrow was our low net lady. She got a 2-3 pound trophy just like everybody else did.
Right.
We're having to ship it to her because she ran off. We could give it to Matt and give to her, and we're grateful that she held in there and just had the tenacity to dig through that course. She ended up going she went 95, which would be 72 on her net, and then on day 1, 94 day 2, which is 71 on her net. So good on her. Just the sweetest lady you'd ever meet too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Super, super, super nice. And she did really well in the senior net. And so, and we'll see that here, but Mid-Am net champion Shannon Lester, we don't have a picture, but we talk about, handicaps all the time. And I just want to brag on Matt Fegley and his team and the competition committee. on the work they're doing to vet handicaps. Mid-Am Net contest, 37 people in it, winner +1, and there were 13 people within 6 shots of 2 days between +1 and +7. And so certainly the handicap vetting process is working. Jay Combs was runner-up at +2. Cody Quattlebaum, even after he shot his 7 under net 65 with that 79, which is going to be one of the lowest scores all year. We had a couple exceptional rounds. He finished at +3 in third place in the Mid-Am Net. Senior net, like you said, was Brian Sanders. He finished at 6 under. He had an exceptional round on day 1, and then followed up with an even par net 72. And then after that, which honestly, 280 rounds, 2 exceptional rounds is about the right number of what you can expect to see if you follow the USGA math. But then we have tie for second with Susan Barrow and Gary Lefevers at 1 under par. Rounding out the top 5 was Kent Murioka from Southern California and Paul Hess that finished at even par. So top 10, cutoff would have been 4 over par net in that, and there were 52 people in the senior net contest. So makes for a good time. We're not going to jump all the way in tonight, especially without Fegley here. D3 guys shooting mid-70s. 77s are going to happen in D3. They don't happen all the time, but in a big tournament like this, you're going to see 1 or 2, which you're gonna see, especially on guys that are trending up to promote. So,
so Utah pulled out 3 of the 5 open divisions. Last season we had 4 out of the 5. I don't like the way we're trending.
Yeah, well, I hate to break it, but the secret is out about Black Desert. I know when I show up around the country, that is the one I get asked about all the time, and I will tell you want to go. It is unique. I don't even want to call it desert golf because it doesn't really feel like desert golf. It's kind of in a class of its own.
I got to show what we gave to everybody that came to that, Matt.
Pretty sweet.
This is driver head cover.
Pretty nice. Just wait till you see the one I'm working on you for next year, buddy.
Yeah, CMC, they do a nice job.
They do a really good job, for sure. We got more majors. We can talk about that for a minute. So we're like 50-50 game time decision whether Fegley's going to be here or not. So we'll keep going. We can talk about some majors, and then we'll get into some other stuff. This is my favorite time of year. I'm excited about this. You go Red Rock, which I love, one of my favorite places to go. And then up in 2 weeks, we're at Bedford next week, which is just an amazing, amazing golf course. Has become a staple on our tour, another one that sells out extremely quickly. But anyways, I've been told by Chris that we've got a quick commercial with Global Golf, and then we'll be back to talk about Bedford.
Shop Global Golf for gear and recommendations that are all about you. With You Try, You Select, and You Trade In, Global Golf's comprehensive suite of services feature the widest variety of new and pre-owned products, PGA professional backed insight, and unbeatable value to help you play your best. So visit Global Golf today and experience personalized shopping that's all about you.
And we're back. Say hi, Collins. We're at home.
Collins. Hello, Collins.
She's saying hi to everybody. Good night.
Night.
Night. Okay, go with Mama. So we're not in the office today because we got back with the travel late, and so
how unhappy was she in Chicago looking for a hotel room? She probably was crying, tired, hungry.
Oh, she was a champ. It was funny. I was just walking around. She was chilling, and we were knocking on everybody's door saying, "Hey, do you have a hotel room?" It was quite interesting, but we got it done. Shout out to Marriott. They took very good care of us. We were not in a good spot at about 12:30, and thankfully they hooked us up, so it worked out. Yeah. But let's talk about Bedford. Have you made the trip to Bedford yet?
I've not been there.
So Bedford may be it's impossible to pick a favorite of these places. When it comes to like the classic traditional golf course, it may be my favorite one of all of them. You know, the tree lined, it was 1895. Donald Ross built the first iteration of it. Spencer Oldham and Tillinghast both touched it. It was built by Ross the same year that Pinehurst number 2 came into existence, and it's very different, which is kind of cool. You know, Pinehurst number 2 is kind of boring tee to green, and then the greens are just insane. Bedford is very interesting tee to green, and the greens are tough, but they're playable. And so this is a really fun golf course. It kind of sits in this valley, and so it's kind of one of those up and back golf courses. Just beautiful setting. A lot of chances for scoring. If you golf your ball around there, you'll be rewarded, but it's kind of like Black Desert. You start getting offline just even in the rough, and it's going to be hard to hold greens, and you start missing greens around that place, and bogeys become very easy to come by.
You playing the same course both days?
Both days. It's the old course there at Bedford. Super cool hotel. It's an Omni hotel. It's the last hotel in the United States that's made entirely of wood. There's your random fact for the night.
I thought that Pinehurst Hotel was made of wood.
They redid all of it. So
they did?
At one point. But yeah,
only because I stayed and I was like, this seems really, really old.
So yeah, no, it's just a cool spot. People say it's haunted. I didn't experience that, but they do some tours around it. Kind of interesting. It's close to the Flight 93 Memorial in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. And another random fact about Bedford that I did not know until last year. We're back to saying hi.
Is this a sold-out event then?
It is a sold-out event every year.
I see 118 players.
Yeah, we've got a few rejected payments we're working through, Dennis. Okay. We're having fun with the
group. Let me see here.
So, so we're at family night tonight, guys. So it is what it is.
Bye-bye.
She's like, bye. We're still on. So, you going back with mom? Okay. So I'll tell you, this trip in Utah, Dennis, it is scary because she went from having like 8 words to now it's like 80 in like 5 days. So
she grew up fast, I guess.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. So you guys are gonna have to stop watching what you say around her now when you're at a tournament. Yeah. So she's gonna know way too much golf lingo way too fast. So it is what it is. But,
tell me this: what kind of taco did you get at the turn?
I went for carne asada, but I'll tell you honestly, I went for the Dole Whip. The Dole Whip at the turn is where it's at. There's only 2 spots in the country that give Dole Whip at the turn: Black Desert and Streamsong.
Okay.
And
so pineapple or strawberry?
You got to mix them.
That's what I did.
100%. That's the trick at Black Desert for sure. But anyways, let's talk for a little bit. Kind of improvising here because I know Fegley had some things he wanted to talk about, and he's got some stuff going on. So it is a lot of people's first tournament coming up. You know, as seasons are opening across the country. What kind of advice would you give to somebody that's coming into this, not sure what to expect? What's some good tips that you'd give them for tournament golf? Let's talk a little bit about that and kind of what they should expect from the experience.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously have lots of new members all the time, just growing leaps and bounds. So a lot of my players come out there. When I talk to them on the phone to give them kind of local rules and kind of what expectations, how they can see, information coming to them. One of the biggest piece of advice I give to them is when I joined this tour, I was a basket case of nerves. I just couldn't hit the ball anywhere. I was so nervous. I was shaking. And I had a realization in one tournament that, this is stupid. I'm just going to have fun with my buddies here. And I played lights out. And so, so much of golf is up here, and tournament golf can rattle anyone, even the best. I'm sure if I talked to Eckerd, he'd tell me he was nervous on that round.
Right.
And he went off the first tee. And my piece of advice I give to them is just relax and pretend you're out there having a good, fun round of golf with your friends.
Right.
Because the nerves are not going to be your friend when it comes to making a putt or hitting the ball out of the middle of the club face.
Right. No, absolutely. And I'll build on that. I think one of the special things about this deal is the relationships that are made, and the friendships. I mean, I'm watching the chat, and Gary and James Goodfellow going back and forth together, didn't know each other, I'm sure, outside of APT. But now you have some lifelong friends from the deal. And it's not that they didn't try to kick each other in the rear end, because I'm sure they did.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know both of those guys, and they're both pretty competitive.
Yep.
But understanding at the end of the day, what do we want out of this? The relationship aspect's a huge piece. The community is a huge piece. And so some things that help that, like if you're brand new, and don't lie about your handicap, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? It only hurts you when you come in with a different number than what you actually are. And so, but the other thing I would say to people that are nervous about it is, don't do things differently than what you do when you're playing at home with your buddies. One of the big things they talk about on tour all the time, and how a lot of times how I judge what's going to happen in a golf tournament is you watch the pros, is how long they sit over the ball. If you look at, when pros get nervous, like Rory would be a great example of the Masters. I guarantee you, if you go in time, his couple bad swings that he made to get him in trouble, like 18 when he almost hit it into 10 fairway, which, by the way, having been at Augusta, would be a monumental accomplishment to get it all the way over there. If you watch him on 18, I literally were watching the tee shot. I was sitting at B-Dubs in St. George with Buzz, and I literally made the comment. I said, he's over it way too long. And then it just went off. And so don't speed up your routine. Don't slow down your routine. Just keep it in the same. And then you watch the second shot on 18. He had enough that he had to do with it that it calmed him down, and he hit one of the best shots I've seen in a major championship.
Yeah.
So it was a shame that CBS lost the flight of the ball, because it was a really good shot from over there. And I don't think unless you've been there, I don't think you can appreciate how hard that shot actually was. I mean, he was dead to rights over there, and did an amazing shot to set up that finishing.
I'm hats off to him. I'm not a huge Rory fan, but I am a huge Rory golf fan.
Yes.
And after his performance on Saturday, I thought he's fallen apart. His nerves are gone. He can't do it, and he just held in there. And then something must have happened to Sunday, because he was willing to go after and take some chances and be aggressive, and that's what helped him win it.
Yeah,
So,
no, absolutely.
It didn't really help my my DraftKings or anything like that, but hats off to him.
That's fair. No, I think, I think from an advice, just getting back to it, I think just trying to play your normal game. And the other thing is, we deal with this with the rules all the time. Like there's two types of rules people, and we want to be somewhere in the middle of it. We always want to be a student of the game. And so there's so many people that think they get frozen on that. I don't know all the rules. And like, newsflash, neither does Rory. I literally just took a USGA advanced certification class, and literally the example for figuring out how to drop at a yellow penalty area, and they show example of somebody doing it wrong, was Rory McIlroy last year, that literally got a penalty for taking a drop wrong in a yellow penalty area. So these guys don't know all the rules either, but at the same point, we agree to play by the rules, which means when we don't know, we ask, and that we're a student to try to learn. And then the second piece of that is to make sure that when there is a ruling, the goal isn't to get whatever advantage you can get. The goal is to make sure we protect the competition and we protect the community. And that goes back to the relationship aspect of when there's a rule. Golf is special because it's one of the only games that we call penalties on ourselves. You know what I mean? And in the interest to protect everyone else. And I don't want to say it's a gentleman's game, because we love our ladies that play. And so I don't mean that in a sexist way at all, but I mean a gentleman's game in the fact that we value winning fairly just as much as we value winning. And so you don't have to know the rules to get started. People will help you. I know in any of our national emails we send out a lot of resources. I know we've done webinars, just APT. We give you links. The USGA does a bunch of like courses. You don't have to be an expert by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I would say it's really, really hard to be an expert. Like the test is hard, but we do have to agree to play by the rules, and that means when we're unsure, we play 2 balls, and everything we do is governed with honesty and integrity, and that's the key. And so if you're nervous about it and somebody corrects you, don't get mad. Just correct it, move on, do it the right way, ask for help if you need it, and everybody will enjoy the experience a lot more when we act in that way. And we have a great community of people that do that for the most part, and we're very special to have that.
Yeah, and I'd say, and to add to that, even with some of the members that we have with us now, is don't be afraid that you can golf with someone besides your best friend.
Right.
Because as you say, this is a community. And we kind of get after our members a little bit because they send these requests on and over again. we had to formulate policies that we're just not going to do that all the time. And the reason is because this is a community of APT members that's what it's about, the camaraderie. And it also helps with some of the integrity of the game that you're playing with different people.
No, 100%.
Your friend, but learn how to put yourself out there and meet new people, because I've rarely met someone I didn't like and didn't get along with. And I've got friends for, maybe lifetime friends that I've earned and had on this tour that is part of the fun of it.
No, absolutely. I mean, it was kind of fun. I loved the pairing Sunday. I played with people that I think all week I played with people I've never played with before. All weekend, every round was somebody new. Obviously, I know some of those people, and in my role, I get the advantage of I get to know a lot of people pretty easily in the role that I'm in. But it was so much fun. Played with 3 D2 guys on Sunday, had a blast. And had a great time. Played with one of your, Kaysen or Carson Jones.
Oh yeah.
On Monday, and Buzz, and then got to play with all the Kansas City crazies on Tuesday. I felt like I was surrounded by Kansas City people, we had a blast. It was a really fun round. And I will tell you, I am much more comfortable with someone hitting it 100 yards past me after playing with Thorman. So after he hit 5-iron off the first tee and I smoked a 3-wood, I was like, get to his ball.
That was a 5-iron? I assumed it was a 2-iron. I sent him off the first tee. Wow. Okay.
It was a little dumb. So like 13, he hit it over the creek both days.
On 13, the par 5?
Yeah.
Wow.
Where I hit driver to try to get as close to the creek, he carried 340, flew the creek both days. Had like 80 yards into the par 5. So it was fun.
Impressive.
So Travis and Amanda Bryant put a good comment there. This is a key if you're playing tournament golf. We'll talk about pace of play for a minute, because pace of play was great, by the way, this last week in threesomes, double T, home run on that front. But one of the things that people don't understand in golf is your responsibility is always your position relative to the group in front of you. So if you pay attention to them, not the group behind you, don't be like, oh, we're fine, we're behind, but the group in front of us or the group behind us not pushing us. No, stay up with the group in front of you. And then that way you're not making an excuse for the group behind you that's really, really slow. And so keep in mind with them. But the easiest way to stay on time is to do a couple pretty simple things. Practice golf cart etiquette to make sure that you don't have people just sitting in their carts while other people are hitting. Grabbing a couple clubs in a rangefinder and walking to your ball. So that way you don't have to walk back and forth. Recording your scores at the next tee while somebody's teeing off. Reading your putts before it's your turn. I'm trying to think what else. And 3 minutes means actually 3 minutes. If you can't find it in 3 minutes, I promise you don't want to find it.
Yeah, everyone likes to stretch that as far out as they can. And I get it. You don't want to have that penalty, but what people need to realize is that when you hit that 3 minutes and you don't have a ball back down in play within, I think it's 46 seconds or 36, maybe it's 26 seconds later, the penalty really should be incurred. And so we need to try to keep
Right.
that
The hard
balance.
part is like when you're monitoring pace, somebody does the whole 7-minute look for their ball, and they're like, "We just had an issue back there, and we'll get back." Like, it
Yeah.
just like the point is once again, this as a community is really important, and we all want good pace of play. We all want fast rounds, and nothing kills fast rounds faster than one person spending 7 minutes looking for a ball and backing up that hole for the rest of the day. Because when you're in a straight T start, you're not making up pace that you lose on a hole because everybody's going to slow down through that spot. And so just being cognizant. We've done better in recent years. So most of our chapters across the country are doing very, very well. We're still working on culture in a couple. I'll be the first person to be honest about it. But, I'll put it this: Black Desert and their quote, "This is the most efficient we've ever got a tournament in that we've ever ran with this many people." And that includes scrambles.
When I was talking to the pro and I said, "Hey, the pace was amazing," and right, he pulled it up on his computer because they track everything, and he just dropped his jaw and said, "I've been trying everything we could figure out to get the pace of play better on this course so they can not only put more people out for more revenue, but allow people to have a better experience."
Right.
And he kind of was, kind of a moment like, "Oh, maybe you got something here. Maybe I can get another 20 tee times a day out of people at this resort if we do what you did."
Right. It'll be interesting when they copy us.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But certainly it took 2 years to convince them to let us do it. In the third year, they're like, "Ooh, we like this shiny new object that, when we're actually able to set up." I know people earlier in the chat were like, "We love threesomes. We'd all like, look, if golf courses would let us set up the golf course how we wanted to, we'd set it up every time like Red Rock." It's not always the case.
Yeah.
We'd love to be able to do that when we can. We certainly will. Sometimes we have to work within the strengths of what the resort gives us. But Billy had a good question in the chat. He said, "Do players walk or ride in local tournaments?" Cart fees always included in your entry fee, other than very few exceptions at walking only courses like Chambers Bay or the Ocean Course of Kiowa, things like that. But cart fees all included.
I've got a handful in my chapter that walk when we're walking a
playing
a course. It's not too chill. It's allowed. So
when a golf course allows walking, we do too. Just obviously ask to keep in pace if you choose to walk, but cart fees included in your entry fee. So
I will mention we did a full raise about almost $2,000 for
that was
awesome. This weekend. That was awesome. Some great 50-50s. It's Matt. I'm going to butcher his last name.
Tokunaga,
and
let's call him Tox.
A million. I know his last name something. A million.
Martin Vermillion.
There you go, Vermillion. 12 inches, 12 and a half inches to bring some money in on that. Rocky Metcalf won some money on that. So that was a fun thing on hole 19 to be able to.
Want some of this, honey?
Thank you.
There we go. We got food.
Look at that kind of service. Got my dinner brought to me.
Nice. So I love how other people have picking up on the another tour in the comments. It makes me happy. So that's pretty funny. So I won't name the tour, but we did hear about that. I will tell you, Macklemore is the hardest golf course to manage pace of play that we've ever. I mean, Chris tried everything he had to get around that place. It's in the mountains. It's super windy. They always have the greens like crusty and like 13 on the stimp. So if you hit it above the hole, like stopping it on the green is a challenge. And there's a ton of distance between holes. And if you miss, it falls off the mountain. So it's a difficult golf course.
Aaron Paul mentioned he enjoyed the 4 caddies. I was nervous about the 4 caddies slowing us down, but I think they did a phenomenal job with the players out there. We don't always have caddies. Black Desert does require them, and they'll work hard for you and do a good job to keep people moving and get their way around the course.
Yes, and I will tell you, if you come to Black Desert in your first time, just ask your caddy where to hit it. They do know where the lines are, and if you don't ask them, you will miss. I will just tell you that, because it is not always where you think you need to hit it around that place. I will say this because I always love the debate between riding is faster, walking is faster. People that know how to play golf efficiently are faster, whether they ride or walk. People that don't know how to play golf efficiently are slow, whether they walk or ride, period. And that slowness determines by being ready when it's your turn to play, how you handle, your routine, whether you're ready when it's your turn to hit. There's a whole list of things. We could have a whole live on it, but promise you could walk. I hate that Christopher Dens just asked me about the Bedford forecast. I'm going to look, and I hope it says like 100% chance of rain right now because it's going to change between now and then. But since you said that, I am going to look it up. I will say the head cover ski gift for Bedford is pretty freaking awesome. So there's that. So let's find out. The too early forecast for I can't even believe it. Ison's got to be like, I can't believe he's looking it up right now. Rain on Saturday and Sunday. Going to change. So if it opens with rain, it's a good chance it'll be sun. So there we go. It's always too early to look. You look 10 days out, it's guaranteed to not be what you think it's going to be. So, but should be fun. Well, we got a couple minutes for questions if anybody's got any. Looks like Fegley's tied up, so don't have to deal with the handicaps are tonight. So this is a good question. I can answer it technically. How do we turn the APT into a sanctioned event and get WAGR points? Our North American Championship has been a WAGR event the last 2 years. For it to be a sanctioned WAGR event, it needs 13 or more people in the division and needs to be 54 holes or more, which meets the qualifications for our APT Players Championship and the North American Championship. So if WAGR is something that you want it to be, reach out to me. If we get enough people, we'll continue to do it. But I will say that doesn't affect about 98% of our members. So and I would say to Chris Dens about the forecast in Bedford, maybe we should stop calling it the APT Open Championship and we'll get some non-British weather.
I'm looking out my window right now and it is snowing. What are we here? April 16th, and I have snow about 2 inches on the ground, and it continues to snow. We had a very dry winter, and I think we're going to have a very wet spring.
How does it snow there? Like it was like 60 degrees when we went through yesterday.
It's snowing. That's Utah. You don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes is what they say.
So Brent, throw more 3-day tourneys. I mean, I'll throw it out there. Who likes the 3-day tourneys in the middle of the year? We just worry about them because they get expensive with 3 rounds. But Terry Whitty says Minnesota. It snows in April in Minnesota. That's correct. So got to give a shout out to Central Illinois. Central Illinois and Denver both have sold out their openers way early. Central Illinois just opened to 100 players for their opener.
Nice.
And it's all filled with Central. I mean, there's like 2 St. Louis people and 2 Chicago people coming to it. It's all Central Illinois members.
Wow.
I'll never forget, and I just want to brag on Van Spankeren for a minute. When we got ready to launch in Central Illinois, I went to a lot of my pros that I grew up with, and they all said, man, Golf Channel tried to come in here. There's no way an amateur tour work will ever work in Central Illinois. And he has just absolutely shattered the glass ceiling in what he's done. And I've always been nervous about turning Central Illinois because it's my home. You know what I mean? A lot of the golf courses he works with, the pros, are people I grew up with that have my cell phone number, that know me when I was a little punk in high school. You know what I mean? Trying to build a business. And so, but at the same time, they're people that I don't want to let down, and they are all just absolutely ecstatic about what's happening in APT in Central Illinois. And so for him to have a chance to eclipse the century mark is going to be really, really stinking cool. So he's done a really good job. Denver did the same thing. Their event's not till May 9th. And so they just opened up to 100, which will be their largest event as well. And so really cool things happen on the APT. So I'm pretty excited about that.
James Goodfellow says we need Promontory. There's a couple courses up here in Park City. I will tell you, James, that the CEO at Reef, which is the CEO of the Black Desert, has an investment group that has said we may let you guys come up and play right before we open it up to our members. The new Tigers Woods course up there, which is called
Marsala.
So I've been feeling that out. If we get it to play, it's probably going to be one time and done. But it'd be amazing to be able to play that once when they get open.
You just make sure that I am on a flight to Salt Lake because I will be there.
It's beautiful, beautiful up there, Matt. You thought St. George's. Wait till you get in the mountains of Park City up there. It's pretty amazing.
So, Aaron, there is hope. Hang with us, New England guys. We're working on something. So,
what's the space between your chapter and the Central Illinois chapter? Is that kind of just different region of? So
Springfield is probably as far west as they go. Is probably an hour and 15 minutes from where there's kind of a gap of maybe an hour in between. So it's pretty easy to play both. I mean, I live in Central Illinois and run St. Louis, so obviously I drive it all the time. So it's kind of nice because we can play off of each other. I know a lot of times the St. Louis schedule is usually off of all the majors, obviously, because Chris and I have to run both. So a lot of the major weekends, the guys aren't going to majors. They can go pick up an event with Van Spankeren in Central Illinois, and so it works really well. So love the idea of Tournament Central Georgia. I was talking to James Teston yesterday, chapter owner there. He was pumped about Cody Quattlebaum 79. Pretty awesome. I love seeing, and these aren't people that are like, it's so funny. Like, and I'll say this, and I appreciate Terry saying that we've got the handicaps figured out. I wouldn't say that we fully have the handicaps figured out. It's a work in progress. We're still working on it. Although I will say, now that we've got 3 years and 4 years of data, it's becoming a lot easier to kind of place people better the first time, because we've got all these, we have thousands upon thousands of questionnaires that have been submitted now with the answers to the same questions. And so it's pretty easy to go pull the data to see, what someone else answered as their questionnaire. And those people that answered this, what's their tournament index after they've played tournaments, and so it gives us a pretty good idea. We partnered with PDI, which we've talked a little bit about. We'll talk about that some more. I'm waiting on Fegley to get on to do that. That's going to take that to even another level that'll allow our members to also have some resources for those that want to improve. Like, it'd be something great. Your buddy, Mr. Goodfellow, would love it.
Yeah.
Those guys that are wanting to take that journey, it'll be a really positive thing. And so we're excited to roll that out this year. Kind of soft opening this year with that soft launch, just to collect some data as we continue to. But I'll be honest, I'm super proud of our competition committee. I'm super proud of our net results. So, it definitely shows that competition is in the right spot with these people, and we're excited.
I'll tell you from a chapter owner's perspective that they work their tails off. Day in, day out. We've got to imagine there's hundreds of new members coming on board, let alone the thousands that are playing each week that they're reviewing, endlessly to make sure we are keeping this fair for everyone in the field. It's really become a calling card of sorts. When I talk to my players, my new members, they are floored at how hard we work to make sure we're not dealing with people that are trying to sandbag and trying to cheat the system. And there's going to always be a way to cheat around stuff, but man, it gets greatly reduced because of all the work that they're doing.
No, absolutely. Yeah, and to answer your question, it's like 1,500 new members since January 1 across the country. So it's been quite the undertaking, but it's fun getting people into our community, and it's been a cool ride, man. I'm just, I wake up sometimes I have to pinch myself. I told Chris the other day we're leaving, we're tired and we're in the airport and we're struggling and we're ticked off. Like, we kind of got screwed over a little bit while we got stuck in Chicago last night. And I'm like, man, we are complaining about coming back from a golf tournament that we would have absolutely given anything to go to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're like, I got to get back so I can get in the office for a day because I've got another tournament next weekend, and then we got to go to Bedford, and then we got to fly to Greyhawk. And it's like just living the dream, man. And it's we're just so appreciative and so thankful for the members that love this and love playing. And it's certainly an honor to lead this organization and work with such great people. I know Terry said in the comments, because we have great tour directors, 1000% agree. We've worked really hard to get the right people in the right positions, and we're ecstatic about where we're at and what's coming next for APT.
And on the foothold of getting great sponsorships and partners of companies that we all love as golfers, and is just a great fringe benefit that we get to enjoy as players as well.
No, absolutely. So cool. Well, we'll be back next Thursday. I think I'll be live from Bedford. So it's crazy to think, home for less than a week, but it's okay. It's one of my favorite spots. Looking forward to seeing a bunch of our members. I know Bedford's kind of the kickoff to the summer kind of thought process. So it should be a lot of fun. But Dennis, well done in Utah. Like you guys, you and your team did a great job. It was an honor for us to come out and be able to partner with you on it. And I cannot wait for next year. Sorry to let the cat out of the bag, but if not, people be bugging us forever. I'm
grateful for the national team. You guys came out and helped us put on one hell of an event. So we're grateful as well.
Yeah, and we'll continue to do it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And guys, thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, reach out to our competition committee. It's got players and chapter owners on it, so it's a really good mix. Feel free to reach out to them, handicaps@aptgolf.org. Good luck playing this weekend, and we'll look forward to seeing you all next week.
Get there. Get there. Get there.
Get there. Those two words are said by golfers all over the world as a sign of respect, a whisper of encouragement, a roar of support. It's what we say to our competitors, our loved ones, our heroes. It's what we say to ourselves.
Get there.
At Worldwide Golf, we're like you. We strive to improve our game, to elevate our standards, and transcend our limits. Our commitment is to the journey, to the tradition, and to the spirit of golf that unites us all. Since 1963, Worldwide Golf has been there to supply golfers with the equipment and apparel they need to drive their journeys forward. With over 100 retail locations spread across 10 retail brands and the best golf e-commerce websites, we have exactly what every golfer needs for however they choose to play. All of this done to help golfers who want to be their best get there. We are golfers, and we're here for golfers. We built a brand around evolving the game and having what you need to play your way, and it shows in every product we offer and every experience we provide. Our goal is singular, to help you get there. Though the game may change, our mission remains: to stand beside you, to grow with you, to celebrate every victory and learn from every shot. Worldwide Golf. Get there.